Maria Leonor Gerona Robredo, more widely known to Filipinos as Leni Robredo, has become one of the most recognizable public servants of her generation. Lawyer, legislator, vice president of the Philippines, civic leader, and now mayor of Naga City, her life story is often described as a journey shaped by service, personal loss, resilience, and a deeply rooted optimism about people and community. To understand who she is today, one has to begin in the quiet streets of Naga City, where her story first unfolded. Leni Robredo was born on April 23, 1965, in Naga City, Camarines Sur. She grew up in a family that valued education, discipline, and fairness. Her father, Salvador Gerona, served as a judge, while her mother, Salvacion Santo Tomas, worked as a teacher. From a young age, she learned the importance of integrity and compassion, lessons that would shape her worldview long before she entered politics. Friends often described her as reserved and thoughtful, someone who preferred listening and understanding situations before stepping forward to lead. Her academic journey reflected both determination and adaptability. She studied economics at the University of the Philippines Diliman, graduating during a time of significant political change in the country. Although she initially pursued different career paths, her exposure to grassroots issues and social justice work inspired her to study law. She earned her law degree from the University of Nueva Cáceres in 1992. Even as a student, she was known for her quiet persistence, balancing academic demands with responsibilities at home and volunteer work in the community. A defining chapter of her life began when she met Jesse Robredo, a reform-minded public servant who would later become one of Naga City's most respected mayors and eventually Secretary of the Interior and local government. Their partnership extended beyond marriage into a shared vision of governance rooted in participation and transparency. While Jesse transformed Naga's local government systems, Leni built her own career as a lawyer dedicated to the underserved. She worked with the Public Attorney's Office and later with the Centro ng Alternatibong Lingap Panligal, providing free legal assistance to farmers, women, and marginalized communities. Her work focused on empowering people who often had little access to justice, a mission that defined her early professional identity. Leni and Jesse Robredo raised 3 daughters together, Aika, Tricia, and Jillian Robredo. Each of them grew up under the influence of public service and community involvement. Despite the demands of their parents' work, the Robredo household emphasized education, humility, and compassion. Leni often spoke about motherhood as one of the most grounding aspects of her life, describing her daughters as both her strength and her inspiration during challenging times. In 2012, tragedy struck when Jesse Robredo died in a plane crash while serving in national government. The loss profoundly changed Leni's life. Known for her private nature, she initially hesitated to enter politics. However, encouragement from supporters and community leaders eventually led her to run for Congress in 2013, representing the 3rd District of Camarines Sur. Her campaign focused on transparency, people-centered governance, and inclusive development. Winning the election, she quickly gained a reputation as a hard-working legislator who prioritized social welfare and disaster preparedness. Her rise to national prominence came in 2016 when she ran for vice president of the Philippines. Powered largely by grassroots volunteers, her campaign emphasized hope, unity, and citizen participation. Winning one of the closest vice presidential races in Philippine history, she assumed office with a strong focus on poverty alleviation. Through the office of the vice president, she launched programs aimed at housing, education, livelihood opportunities, and healthcare access. The Angat Buhay initiative became one of her flagship efforts, bringing together private organizations and volunteers to support marginalized communities across the country. Throughout her term, Robredo maintained a reputation for hands-on leadership. She frequently visited disaster-affected areas, engaged directly with local leaders, and emphasized collaboration with civil society groups. Supporters often highlighted her transparency and efficiency, while critics challenged her policies and political stance, reflecting the highly polarized environment of Philippine politics. Despite the challenges, she continued to promote a message rooted in optimism and collective action. She often spoke about choosing hope even during moments of adversity, encouraging Filipinos to believe that meaningful change was possible through unity and shared responsibility. After her vice presidential term ended in 2022, Robredo shifted her focus back to grassroots work through the Angat Buhay non-government organization. The group continued many of the programs she began in government, focusing on education, disaster response, and community empowerment. For many observers, this period marked her transition from national leadership back to civic advocacy, a return to her original passion as a lawyer serving the marginalized. Her journey eventually came full circle when she assumed the role of Mayor of Naga City, returning to the place where her story began and where Jesse Robredo's legacy of participatory governance remained strong. As mayor, she emphasized transparency, citizen engagement, and local economic recovery. Her leadership approach highlighted collaboration with communities, reflecting the belief that meaningful governance starts at the grassroots level. Beyond policy and public office, Leni Robredo is often associated with a positive outlook on life. Even during moments of personal loss and political controversy, she frequently spoke about resilience and kindness. She emphasized the importance of listening to different perspectives and finding common ground. Values, she said, were shaped by her upbringing and legal work. Supporters view her as a symbol of integrity and hope, while critics analyze her role through political lenses, showing the complex realities of public life in the Philippines. In recent political developments, conversations about her future have resurfaced following Vice President Sara Duterte's public declaration of intent to run for president in the 2028 elections. Within political discussions and among various supporter groups often identified online by the color pink, a symbol associated with Robredo's previous campaigns, some voices have expressed hope that she might consider another national run. At the same time, it is important to note that public speculation and supporter sentiments do not necessarily reflect official plans, and the political landscape continues to evolve. Today, Maria Leonor Gerona Robredo stands as a figure whose life story bridges local governance, national leadership, and civic activism. From a young girl growing up in Naga City to a lawyer serving marginalized communities, from vice president to mayor, her journey reflects a narrative shaped by perseverance, service, and a consistent belief in the power of people working together. Whether seen through the lens of politics, advocacy, or personal resilience, her story continues to develop, grounded in the values she has carried since childhood: humility, hope, and a commitment to uplifting others.